Hey y'all, and welcome back. Today we're diving into a brand new palette that I have been really looking forward to getting my hands on, and I'm so excited. It just came in the mail yesterday and I'm diving right into it, and we're going to create a look with the new Fairytale Fairies palette. This is from Simply Posh Cosmetics, brand new brand to me, but they captivated my attention when they showed this gorgeousness of a palette. I am just smitten, and all the swatches that they shared on their Instagram page, I was just blown away. So I had to pick it up during the pre-sale. I'll go ahead and leave on the screen here the time. So I purchased this myself during the pre-sale. I knew it was going to take a little while to ship to me. So I'll go ahead and put when I purchased it, when it shipped to me, when it arrived to me. But I overall was very impressed with how quickly this arrived to me, considering I did order it ahead of time. But once they started the shipping process, it got to me really fast. So I was really happy about that. And then also the price, because I forget off the top of my head how much this was. But I am so excited to dive into it, so I can't think of much besides that. So we're gonna dive into it, and this video is just gonna be a really quick type of 2 looks, first impressions video. So for the first look, we're gonna do something on my eyes today, something fun, and then the second look will just be music playing and kind of sped up as I do my makeup, and you guys can just kind of see the look that I create. But I'll give you 2 looks in this video so you guys can get a good kind of impression and feel for this. So with that said, I'm gonna stop talking and let's go ahead and just jump right in and get to putting this on my eyes. Alright, so I just primed with my kind of tried and true holy grail combination, the Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer, and then the Makeup Revolution Super Size Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. Let's get into this beauty. I guess I can pull this. That's always fun. But here's what it looks like. They are magnetic, so if you want to, you could pull these out, rearrange them however you want. I think they rearrange them very beautifully. And you got tons of mattes to play with, dark row, light row, and then the ones in the middle, they are like a duochrome type of formula. I touched into this one just a little bit because obviously that's the one that was screaming at me. But wow, that looks so pretty. I cannot wait to dive into it. So I think today I'm definitely gonna have to use this because it's catching my attention so hard. I can't get over how beautiful that is. So I'm gonna be going, I think, greenish on the outer corner, but I'm trying to decide if I want to do more pinky purple or maybe blue on the inner half of my crease. Definitely, let's see, for the outer corner, I'm gonna grab this shade, put this one in the crease, and then blend it out with Charmed. And then what should I put on the inner corner? That's what I have been going back and forth ever since picking this up yesterday. I don't know what I want to put on the inner corner. So let me just start with the outer corner because I got to get something going on my eyes before I totally run out of time here. So I'm going to take a little brush like this and I'm going to pop, what was it, that evergreen shade on my outer corner. The mattes have this cute little fairy in it that I hate messing up, but I'm just going to tap in a little bit. Looks nice and pigmented, and let's pop it right on this outer corner. I am about to go and work in the garden at our house and put up some wiring for the peas and the beans to start trellising. So I'm gonna do my makeup for that. So we'll be able to see how well this makeup holds up and sweats today. But that's, took no time, no work. That is gorgeous. I always like to tap on the deepest color on the outer corner and then kind of lightly blend it out. I'm gonna take a touch up here. But I don't need to go too far because I'm going to use that other one. But wow, that is beautiful. Very pigmented, nice amount of depth. Very happy with that, and took 2 dips maybe to get it to put that much on. Very nice. All right, now I'm going to take the 13 Repper brush, one of my favorites. It's just so nice and small, and I'm going to go into, I feel like Woodland's probably going to be a little too deep. So maybe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change it up just a little bit. Going to take an even denser brush. This is the B3 from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I'm going to take that Woodland shade and I'm going to put that in the crease. Just in case it is dark, I can really work to blend it out with something else. So just going to pick up some, tap it off, and we're going to put it right in here. And I'm going to take it down just because of how pigmented that other shade is. I anticipate this is, just going to be nice and rich and dark as well. So I'm glad I didn't go too ham with it all the way up into my crease. We're just going to keep this in the very center part of my crease to give a nice amount of depth. And then we'll blend it out with whatever I'm putting in here because I still haven't really decided. Though I'm leaning towards the minty shade since I'm putting green in here. I don't know if that pink would clash, but there's that. Nice and deep. I'm using more blending motions than packing for this shade, and it's going on really nice, and I'm just gonna connect it back to that dark shade we put on. Oh, so pretty. That's really nice. All right, and then I'm gonna take the Repper 13 and we're gonna go right on top of that. I'm gonna start with Charmed that shade, that lighter kind of, not super minty, but more like a lime green or just like a grungy lime green, I guess. I don't know, but I'm gonna use that to blend out the outside portion. We'll see how pigmented it is, whether I need to pull something else in, because it is very light in comparison to what I have going on here. But with how pigmented and smooth their shadows are, I have a lot of hopes that it'll blend really nicely. So I'm just gonna, I feel like I'm a little washed out, so put my mirror down a little bit. So I'm gonna take it and just start blending it. Should probably tap it off a little bit since I have my face done. I'm gonna start blending it right in here.
Mama?
Yes, sir? Oh, your lip balm's on the bar. Go grab it. Oh, no, that's Mama. Thank you. Your lip balm's on the bar. Go look. Ask to see if she knows where it is, and if she doesn't, I will help you. So I'm just gonna bring this down here as well. This is pigmented, but it's like going over that dark green very nicely, which I was not expecting. Usually such light kind of pastel-y tones don't have a lot of pigment to them, so they take a lot of building up to really not only be able to see, but be able to blend. But that's covering it really nicely. So I'm gonna go on top and then just spend some time right at that line to help diffuse the two colors together. I'm actually going to take that tiny dense brush that I took Woodland on, put just the teeniest a bit, and I'm going to go right on that line. Like that. Oh, that's a nice blend. And then again, going back into Charmed, I really like this. It's a lot more like pastelish and vibrant of a pastel grungy green than or like grungy lime green than I was anticipating, but it's got a nice amount of pigment to it, so I'm gonna go back on top, blend it out a touch more, and that looks really nice. Gonna spend a little bit more time out here, and then once again going into Woodland. I like Woodland as kind of that in-between shade between the two, just so I don't carry too much depth of that dark green up in here. And that works really nicely. I really like what's going on here, but I need to make a decision on my inner corner. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one. I just wanna see what it does when it blends with the dark green. It's more of a bluish tone, so it should show up really nice and have a little pop of something in the inner corner. This palette is so overwhelming because there's so many different ways I can go, and trying to decide what to do with just one eye look is a little like overwhelming, because I kinda wanna do like multiple looks and just really play with this palette. But I don't think I'll have time because I'm working on a multiple looks with the Blend Bunny palette that I still need to do. So I figured this is something I can definitely get up fairly quickly for this palette, 2 looks. So I'm sorry, but I'll definitely, like, when I review this in my next Palette Palooza, I'll show you guys all the looks that I did. And of course you can follow me on Instagram, and that's where I tend to share the rest of the looks that I record, which I've been trying to record most all of my looks. Unless I'm really crunching for time and doing like a super simple look, then I won't record it. But I try to record all the looks that I do with palettes so that I can share them over on Instagram. This blends out so effortlessly. I can't get over how nice of a blend this is. Gonna go into Woodland, which is what I put right into my crease. And they're very pigmented. Like, I'm having to go back in here to kind of put it back, because even though these shades are pastel, like, they are pigmented. Like, I am blown away. I told you guys I didn't know this brand existed at all before I saw the sneak peeks on like Makeup Release Radar for this palette, and I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. And then I saw the full palette and I was like, I gotta try them. So I had no idea what I was going into quality wise when it came to this brand, but wow. Not a huge pop of color. I know maybe it's kind of a boring look for me, being mostly green with just a little pop of blue, but oh my goodness, quality wise I'm very impressed. Okay, as I said, I really want to use this on the inner half of it. It's just so intense. This is a shade I like. It reminds me of the Give Me Glow Limeade, I think, or I forget what it's called. I think it's Limeade. It's something. It's a shimmer green like this. Love it so much. But then I'm trying to decide what I want on the outer half, and I'm kind of leaning towards one of this shade or this shade, but I just don't know if it's going to be like pigmented enough to really pop next to the intensity, because they're a little bit, not sheer at all, but they're more of like a subtle color compared to that green. And I just don't want it to kind of stand out and look weird. So I think, should I do these two? That might look pretty. That blue is also super pretty. Like, look how crazy intense these shades are. Definitely are intense, or just have a crazy intense shift. And I don't know what to do. I feel like, you know what? What if I do this on the inner half and then the green on the outer half? Those two could be really pretty together, as does this purple one. I kind of want to do the purple one just to bring a pop of purple to green. You know, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this one in the middle just to give that little purple pink shift, and then the green on the outer lid. Oh, that's so pretty. Let's do it. So that was this shade because it's got a little bit of purple shift to it. What's Wishes? That's what we're going to put on the first half. Oh, these shimmers are just amazing. I'm going to play with the purple / peach ones probably tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Picking it up. I think it's picking it up okay. Maybe not the easiest to pick up. Definitely, I feel like finger. It just, oh, and I'll also use the NYX glitter primer. I'm gonna be sweating. I need to give this as much help as it can. But okay, not the easiest or like seamless to pick up, but let's see how much. I dug it into the pan for a good bit. They feel a little like hard pressed when you go in there, but not in like a bad way. They're just like firmly packed in there. They're not like a super shocky formula or anything. This might be that type of formula that if you want the most impact, it's best to use your fingers, because you guys saw my fingers. They were so intense, whereas using a brush, I don't know. Okay, so doing that side, I made a mess for starters. I was trying to see if I could pick up more on my brush, and then that way it transferred better. But as you can see, it just like crumbled all over my face and made a mess on my lower line. Oh well. I'm gonna try and take my pinky, because like, look, that's what I want to see on my eyes. And it looks a little bit crumbly. So I'm gonna try to put on my pinky because it's the smallest one and just tap it on like this. And see if that, yeah, that shows up a lot more smooth. Looking a touch textured, or like it could be textured. Well, I'm curious to see how this wears throughout the day. But your finger, I mean, look at that. Finger, no finger brush. Yeah, it's just, it's not the easiest, at least this shade is not the easiest to pick up with just a flat brush. This is, oh, I can use I don't have any clean ones, but one of those sponge tip applicators. I have a lot of those, and they perform just like a finger, but I don't have to get my finger actually dirty, which I like. So that's a brush that you could use, a little sponge tip applicator, because this flat brush is just not picking it up. So I'm going to clean the flat brush though, and I want to try it with Sparkles, which is this green, just to see if there's difference with maybe the different textures that each of the shimmers have different textures. So we're going to pick it up and see. Looks like I picked up a little bit more. And then I'm gonna put it right on here. Yeah, that's not looking super intense or anything, especially compared to what my finger looked like when I swatched it. So yeah, I really wish I had a sponge tip applicator that was clean, but I don't think I do. Just so you guys can see how a sponge tip applicator works in comparison, like how similar it is to your finger. Maybe I'll try to clean one tonight and I can use it tomorrow when I do my eye look. But here, I'm gonna just take it on my finger. You guys see how that looks? Now watch this. It looks like a liquid shadow, liquid shimmer. Gorgeous sparkle on my eyes now. Yeah, it's not picking up very well. These shimmers just don't like to be picked up with a flat brush like I'm using. It needs just the pressure of a finger, I guess, to really not only apply it, but then smooth it out. So I'm going to definitely be playing around with this palette with my sponge tip applicators, because I just don't like using my fingers. But if you're someone who uses your finger, this doesn't matter to you, I suppose. But I just like some precision, especially when it comes to like cutting my crease, because I feel like I can't use a brush. Oh my, you making messes back there. But a sponge tip applicator gives me a little bit of precision. That way I can really cut my crease and get it really nice and precise, because the finger, not only do I get my fingers dirty and then I get it all over my face or my clothes, but you can't get nice clean cut lines like you can with a brush. So that's why I don't love using my fingers. But anyway, good experiment. There we go. Putting it on. Now that it's on, it is gorgeous. Like, look, I love the green. The purple and whatever Wishes. Purple blue is also very, very pretty. Not saying it's not, but you guys know me and green. It's kind of stealing my heart. Okay, at this point, let me go ahead and finish out with my lower lashes, and then I'm gonna put a wing on, and I gotta replace my battery because it's about to die. But let's go ahead. I'm gonna use, you know what? I'm gonna use Mystical, and then this shade right here, Fairytale, on my lower lashes to maybe help the purple pop on the inner corner a little bit. I made such a mess right here with all the fallout, and the fallout kind of sticks to your face because of the just texture of the shadows. It just kind of stuck to my face. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with, let's go in with this little smudger brush. Like I said, I'm going into Mystical, which is more of like a blue-green, and put that right against my lower lashes. And I'm gonna blend it, or just connect it back just slightly to what's going on my top. These shades are definitely pretty close, but it's, like I said, more of a blue-green. That's really nice, nice and pigmented. And then let me go ahead and switch it out. I'll finish my other side off camera just in case the battery goes out, but I'm going into Fairy Tales, which is like that lavender, and I'm gonna put it right here because I think it'll, like I said, help the inner corner kind of connect it all around and pop. And just go a little bit, just like that.
Hey, Dada.
And then I'm gonna take a little bit of that mint and connect it around. I'm gonna probably do it off camera because I thought Levi was picking up my lip gloss, but he is into my single shadows and my purple ones, and I think he destroyed all of them. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of fairy dust. All right, I'm gonna take this little dome brush. I'm using a dome brush to see if it kind of deposits the shimmer easier into my inner corner, since it's not a flat brush. Makes it a little bit thinner, or like not as intensely pigmented, but I think that works for my inner corner really well. So here's what we have so far. I'm gonna go off camera, finish out, do a wing. I'm gonna take a little bit of that dark green to just blend this, and then I'll stick up some close-ups and then roll right into my second look, and then I'll come at the end after my second look and the music overlay of the second look. We'll come back and I'll do the outro with this makeup look on. So be right back. Alright, y'all, so that about does it for the video. Here is kind of my finished look. You guys have already seen close-ups, but this is me rounding out the video, rounding out my first impressions on the new Fairytale Fairies palette, and one word I can sum it up, I am impressed. Like I said, I had no idea what to expect going into this because I never heard of the brand before seeing this palette, but the color story just grabbed me so much. The swatches look so promising. I just had to try it, and I am so very glad I did, because when we're just speaking about the mattes, I am literally blown away with how beautifully they blend, how well they work together, how effortlessly they take to like blend into each other, and how effortlessly they took to put on my eyes, and just the pigment I got right away. Absolutely love that. And then when we're talking about the shimmers, they're not as easy to apply. I like doing a flat, a flat eyeshadow brush, as you guys know, so that is definitely not going to be the method with these, but I am going to continue trying it with my sponge tip applicators or my fingers, and I think that's going to be the way to go with this palette. It's just going to be a little bit different than what I typically like to do. Not a bad thing, it's just something that, you know, you need to know going into this palette. But besides that, I am blown away with how beautiful these shimmers are. There's so much sparkle as I turn my head. There's so much intensity. Like I said, they look like liquid shadow, liquid sparkle on my eyes, and I love it. So overall, very impressed for my first time trying this palette, and I cannot wait to continue trying it. And I'll share out the looks that I can over on my Instagram page. So LadyKatie92, if you're not following me over there, and if you want to see more looks with this palette, this color story is so inspiring, and the different ways you can combine all of these together with these amazing shimmers, the looks that I'm going to be able to get are going to be so pretty. So that's about it. That's all I can tell you guys for my first impressions for this palette. Overall, very impressed, very pleased, super excited to continue using this palette. And with that said, as I already told you guys, go over and follow me on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92 over there if you want to see more reels, more tutorials, more of me using this palette and other palettes that I'm currently trying. And stay tuned in a couple weeks, hopefully before baby comes, or right after baby comes, like middle of August. I'm hoping to have another Palpalooza countdown review video where I review palettes, and I'm definitely going to play with this one enough where I'll be reviewing it. So should have a full in-depth review with all the eye looks that I created with this palette in about a month or so. So stay tuned for that. And with all that said, thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.